You're going to lose sleep. You'll doubt whether it'll work. You'll stress to make ends meet. You won't finish your to-do list. You'll wonder whether you made the right call and have no way to know for years. This is what hard feels like, and that's okay. Everything worth doing is hard, and the more worth doing it is, the harder it is. The greater the payoff, the greater the hardship. If it's hard, good. It means no one else will do it. More for you.
Life doesn't happen to you. Life happens for you. Opportunities will come to you every day. It's either for you, you can remain scared of the opportunities, or you can embrace them and take them.
Do something that you don't know if you can accomplish. Do that thing that you don't know if you can do. Stop being afraid of hard work.
Every single person who wants to do something with their life and has done something with their life has gone through the exact chapter that you're going through, and it's the lonely chapter.
You're going to lose sleep. You'll doubt whether it'll work. You'll stress to make ends meet. You won't finish your to-do list. You'll wonder whether you made the right call and have no way to know for years. This is what hard feels like, and that's okay.
Life is going to hit you with a certain level of opposition. And it's going to test your will and it's going to test your heart. And life is going to say to you, you said you wanted it. Now let's see how bad you really want it.
And then once we hit that wall, we don't quit. We don't give up. We push a switch called will, and we start using our willpower. Yes, we tired. Yes, we're hungry. Yes, the mind is saying give up. Yes, it's saying quit. But we cannot quit because we realize we have not reached the goal yet.
While you're over there watching me and talking about me, I'm working. I'm working hard. I'm taking things to the next level. You keep gossiping and I'll keep working. You keep talking smack and I'll keep working. You keep focusing on everything and everyone else and I'll keep working. And when you finally look around at where you are and where I'm at, you'll realize that you have nothing left to talk smack about, and you will lose and I will win.
We don't take a second to realize the purpose is always there. The purpose never leaves us because the very purpose is you. You are always the purpose. There may be another purpose, like being a SEAL or going to college or whatever, but the main purpose in life is you. So if you wake up in the morning and you don't want to do something, you don't care enough about yourself. And that's what you need to really research is, man, why am I not doing this for myself? Because that is the number one purpose in life, is to better oneself.
People don't understand it's you against you. The only person that gets in your way is you. Nobody else. It's you.
The price you will pay, the suffering you will go through to make your dream come true is incredibly small than the price you will pay if you never do. You'll pay that one the rest of your life.
To grow the individual will to become something, you must get comfortable with fear and failure. They must be your best friends. Every hero you guys had was called an idiot, crazy, a loser. You must break society's status quo.
Ask yourself what you're willing to risk. What's the price you're willing to pay? Because what most people do when they're trying to chase their dream or their big outcome, the whole time they're negotiating the price in their head. Should I continue to do it? Is it worth it? I don't know if I can continue anymore. It's getting higher, and that price is failure.
This world we live in is tough. It's tough. It will beat you down. The world and the life that we live in is the ultimate competitor. It will try to take you out. It will find your weakness, and it will just hammer you.
You most likely won't regret the things you've done, but you sure will regret the things you didn't do. Do you really want to live an average life, or do you want to be more, better, successful? And with that, remember, if so, then you have to put in the work and go for it.
Reminder that if you want to be exceptional, you're going to be different from everyone else. That's what makes you exceptional. You can't fit in and also be exceptional. Both have discomfort. When you fit in, you have internal conflict because you're not being 100% you. When you're exceptional, you have external conflict because everyone sees you as different. Pick one. When your friends start to say, you've changed, remember it's because they don't know how to say, you grow.
I get happier about the harder it is because I know that no one else will follow.
Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt.
A lot of us have big dreams, big goals. And when you have goals that are maybe outside your reach, you have to know that getting to that goal, you're going to have a lot of bad days, a lot of setbacks. Failure is going to happen. So how fast do you get up from that? You got to have an unlimited supply of fire, this drive and passion that I'm going to be somebody. It has to be there because on all those bad days and all those days you don't want to do stuff, you have to be your own motivator, your own coach, your own trainer, your own everything. You have to come into work ready to go.
Find your impossible. What is it you think is impossible? You could never quite grasp. That's what you have to go after. You don't have a dream, man, you're dead.
10 years from now, you will surely become someone. The big question is, who? 10 years from now, you will surely arrive. And the question is, where? To answer the question of where you want to arrive and the kind of person you want to be, you've got to get serious.
What does your fucking book look like? Like your life is a book. You got a bunch of chapters in your book, but when they close that book, how good was the book? How good was your book? What was the ending to your book? If the ending to my book can be so amazing because of all that was done.
If you give up on your dreams, what do you have left? Nothing. I can't live that way.
So many people out there fail not because they don't have the ability. It's because they don't have the heart to go through adversity.
There's going to be a lot of times y'all about to fail. We are all a work in progress. But in that moment, I want you to remember the power of you. You will change the world.
Nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. Now, if you know what you're worth, then go out and get what you're worth. But you got to be willing to take the hits.
What's your why? What motivates you? What pushes you? What drives you? And if that thing is internal, if nobody has to call you, if nobody has to prod you, if nobody has to reward you, if nobody has to give you anything, if you are self-motivated and self-regulated, you can have it, you can be it, you can do it.
It's possible you can live your dream. It's necessary that you have a plan of action, that you're resilient, that you stick to, and you work with the system, that you have the vision and never give up, that you become creative and relentless and keep on coming back again and again and again, and that it's you that you got to take personal responsibility to make it happen, and that it's hard. Easy is not an option. And when life knocks you down, jump back up and say, it's not over until I win.
Take ownership. Take extreme ownership. Don't make excuses. Don't blame any other person or any other thing. Get control of your ego. Take ownership of everything in your world, the good and the bad.
And I would ask him, at what point do you become stronger than your strongest excuse? Meaning, even when it's valid, you can use it, and it's probably wrong that it happened, but at what point do you become stronger than your strongest excuse? Because at a certain point, life is going to place everybody in a position to where you never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have.
Telling everybody your sad and sob stories, trying to get people to show up to your pity parties and your pity parades. If you ever see me in a Rolls Royce, a 6 or 7 star hotel, living my life to the fullest, don't get jealous of me, because I worked my ass off to get it. Nobody handed me nothing.
People look at champions and try and find something that that champion has that they don't have. He's like, but it's not that at all. He's like, they lack something everyone else has, which is an off button. They just don't stop.
I find that consistency is the key. And consistency doesn't always guarantee success, but if you're inconsistent, If you don't take those steps, you'll never be successful.
You get one shot at this gig right here. Life. One life. That's all you've got. And regret, in and of itself, it's worthless. It does nothing for you. In fact, the only valuable thing in regret is the lesson you learned, the knowledge that you gained. But walking around filled with regret, it gets you nothing. You have to process the information. You have to absorb it. You have to accept it. You have to open your mind. You gotta free your mind so that you can learn and make real progress.
Life ain't gonna be easy. Ain't nobody gonna hand you nothing. You're not ready to give 120 in every single area. If you're ready to quit, you're ready to give up, you're ready to give in. You ready to tell me what's not working, who doing this, what's wrong? If you're not ready to get up every day and start all over again like nothing happened yesterday, why me, God? Why not her? We both adults. Because I can count on you. This is what you do. You are built for this.
Not only do you want to stop being scared and do that thing that you don't know if you can do or not, but you know what you got to do is you got to start taking the steps now. Your life seems like it's going to last forever. And I will tell you right now, it's not going to last forever. And those years go by like a summer's day.
We all have 24 hours. What makes some of us average, makes some of us good, some of us great, is not the family you was born into. Right? It had nothing to do with that. It had nothing to do with your socioeconomic status. It has everything to do with how you command your life.
What causes that switch to flip? The overdrive, the full-on destroyer. It's a thing that allows you to go the extra distance, to dig just a little bit deeper and push a little harder, to get after it. So when it doesn't make sense to go on, that's when you got to use your emotion. That's when you got to use that anger, that frustration, that fear to push yourself harder, to push yourself to say, I don't stop.
It's possible. I'm blessed and highly favored. I've got a lot going for me. I got some good stuff in me. And it's possible that I can bring my greatness out here in the universe. That I can do what I want to do. It's possible I can write my own book. I can have my own business. I can take the trip and travel around the world. It's possible. I can bounce back from adversity and reinvent my life. It's possible. Regardless of where I am, the things can get better for me. It's possible.
You know, the war that you have to really fight is the war against yourself. Now, it's not easy to look in the mirror and to change your own life. It's hard as hell. You have to take responsibility. You have to learn new things. You have to feel uncomfortable. Good, because discomfort is how we grow. That's how we become strong. If you run away from discomfort and resistance your whole life, you will always be weak. If you want to grow as a person, you really have to make friends with pain. Embrace the discomfort. Enjoy the struggle.
You got to come out your comfort zone, because your comfort zone is the deadliest place you will ever be. You should never feel comfortable. You should be happy and dissatisfied. Anybody ever tell you be satisfied with what you got? Don't believe them. Get them away from you. Don't let anybody tell you, hey man, you should just be happy with. No, you should double your business. Triple it. You should never be satisfied with what you got, because the attempt to get more makes you into something better.
You have the power to do more than you can ever begin to imagine. Don't underestimate yourself. You don't know enough about yourself to become a cynic. And so you've got to challenge yourself to access that power that you have within you. You're more than a conqueror.
If you want to be wealthy and happy the rest of your life, just learn this lesson well. Learn to work harder on yourself than you do on your job.
Until your mind is open to the possibilities that I can do this, you would never be able to do it. Once the mind starts to believe it can be achieved, only then does it start to break down tactically how we can do this. Until then, you're going to always lose.
My number one competition is me. It's always you versus you. You got to be the one to get up every morning, be disciplined, put in the consistent daily hard work, because that gains success. No coach, no trainer, no mentor, no boss can do it. You versus you.
Some of you wait for a tragedy to happen. You don't think about it. You don't forecast. Listen to me very closely. You got to understand something. The difference between beasts and average people is that average people live from check to check. Average people don't think about their future. They're consumed with the present.
50% of winning is showing up for the fight. The fight is half over when you show up. You'll never win a fight you don't show up for. I'm showing up for this. Here I am, ready for duty. I am through hiding in the shadows for fear that I might fail. I'm gonna face this head on and let the chips fall where they may.
You've got control of how you fight. But the minute you put him in your mind, he will start robbing your mind of your peace, of your sanity, of everything that God has given you. Tell somebody, take control of your mind. That means that it was not him that was robbing me of the moment. It was me that was robbing myself of the moment, because I was thinking about what he could possibly do, and he hasn't done it. I'm entertaining what he could do. Some of you are in a fight.
You watch those nature documentaries on the cable? See the one about lions? Get this lion. He's the king of the jungle. Huge mane out there. He's laying down under a tree in the middle of Africa. He's so big. He's so hot. He doesn't want to move. Now, the little lion comes. They start messing with him. Biting his tail, biting his ears. He doesn't do anything. The lioness, she starts messing with him, coming over, making trouble. Still, nothing. Now, the other animals, they notice this, and they start to move in. The jackals, hyenas, they're barking at him, laughing at him. They nip his toes and eat the food that's in his domain. They do this, and they get closer and closer and bolder, till one day, that lion gets up and tears the shit out of everybody, runs like the wind, eats everything in his path. Because every once in a while, the lion has to show the jackals who he is.
Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done. Now, if you know what you're worth, now go out and get what you're worth. But you gotta be willing to take the hits and not pointing fingers saying you ain't where you wanna be because of him or her or anybody. Cowards do that, and that ain't you. You're better than that.
Start moving. It's not going to be a perfect plan, but take action. Action that moves you in a positive direction. And if it ends up being the wrong direction, that's fine. At least you've learned where not to go.
One of the most important things, never, ever quit. Never quit. And I've seen people quitting. And if they would have held out longer, they would have been successful. I've seen it so much. I've seen some of the most brilliant people in the world that never made it because they were quitters. They were just quitters. They would quit. They just couldn't take it. They couldn't, whatever. One of the things about loving what you do is that it's not